Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Yale. This is their part number 60-7000-0611-059 tailpiece assembly. This is one that's called for 1 3/4 door without shim kit. Yeah, sure. So a shim kit is obviously going to extend the distance that the trim's going to have to travel to get to the head case of the panic device. If you've got a shim kit on the inside, you're building that head case off further away. So anyway, we'll get to the parts drawing and see if we can make a little more that a little bit clearer. Diameter of the plate, just heavy on 1.5 inches. Overall, looks like it's about 1 13/16 inches. The connecting bar, or the tailpiece, is 0.322 wide, and its thickness .098. 0.098 is the thickness of the material. Okay. Now let's switch to the screen view and take a closer look at that parts drawing. Okay, so here's the item that we are looking at. This is just a generic image showing the trim, but the link below this video to the parts drawing will show us our item. If we were to search for 60-7000-0611-059 tailpiece assembly, it shows up twice here in the document, and it's going to be part 10, 1 3/4 door without shim kit. So if you have a 2-inch or 2 1/4 door, or a door with a shim kit, you need the 0217 variant of part number 10, as seen here. Why might you need to buy this? Well, probably vandalism, abuse, attempted break-in, or just substantial wear and tear, and you are simply needing to rebuild the trim. And it's very thankful that Yale produces this parts drawing so that you can not only get an idea of where this thing installs, but part numbers of other items that you very likely may need. Okay, part number 5 we have sold lots of times in the past, housing and cam assembly. That allows that trim to be, you know, locked and unlocked basically by means of how the yoke here fits over the tailpiece. So it shows up, you know, for this series of trim along with these two trim that are here. Now this master document can be found here, link below this video to the manufacturer's page, that will allow us to look at the Yale key mark, exit device, mortise lock parts manual. Everything is right there. At least currently. It's 170 pages worth of parts diagrams, and the item that we are looking at here is in here as well. Okay, as is all other 7000 series exit device parts diagrams. This link to the manufacturer's page is helpful for me to point out to you, because it will allow you to review not only all of the Yale products we sell by means of this horizontal navigation, but also a link to the website, as well as a link to the full product catalog, and then other encyclopedic, and then several other documents encyclopedic in nature, such as Assa Abloy Master Keying Basics Overview, Yale Cylinders and Keying 2016 Manual. If you are new to the world of locksmithing or just pinning cylinders, I would very much encourage you to review this document. It is a very well written initial approach in the back end of the catalog. I'll just scroll faster to get to it. When it comes to understanding the basics of master keying. And here it is. Designing a master key, establishing a master key system, etc. Great way to walk through the standard key coding system The SKCS, the standard key coding system, is explained here as well, what all these letters here mean in particular. Very handy document to give you an understanding of how a system is laid out. Nothing to do with the locksmith aspect of combinating. Not going to teach you how to pin the cylinders, but nonetheless, very handy, very useful. Other things on that page, beyond manuals and things of that nature, will be, in addition to the current catalog, a whole slew of archival historical catalogs. If you wanted to see what Yale was making in 1894, there's the catalog. So we've got some documents that go back to 1880, up just before World War II. Very handy information if you are looking, just maybe out of curiosity alone. Let's wrap up this video on camera. In conclusion, if you have any questions on the Yale 60-7000-0611-059 tailpiece assembly, please feel free to reach out to us. Yale does a really good job when it comes to supplying parts for their system. I believe the majority of orders that we send to them are indeed for parts to continue helping the client base get useful service out of the significant investment and in particular exit device hardware like it is here. Yale is a company that literally goes back to the mid-19th century. It is Linus Yale Jr.'s most notable claim to fame that he made popular and was successful making popular the modern pin tumbler cylinder. And anytime that you put a key in a lock on a daily basis, it's probably because of him. It's because of the Egyptians that he had the idea. That concept he didn't invent, but he definitely brought it into the modern era, so to speak. So it is a Yale invention, literally. Yale Jr., Linus Yale Jr., invention of the modern pin tumbler cylinder that we all, again, use on a daily basis. What's important about Yale is they're a comprehensive provider of exits, door closers, lock sets, of course, things of that nature. But in terms of a locksmithing perspective, they have a very deep and broad, rich history of keyways, key systems, and they can do not only service those key systems that are decades old, but they can do so in a security and even a high security sort of environment as well. They do have a line of high security and high security cylinders for both conventional core and interchangeable core that work on a system of rotating discs where there is milling on the bottom of the key that's been created so that when those spring-loaded spring-biased discs can rotate inside the cylinder plug, once the gates in those discs are all lined up, the sidebar can enter, I should say like this, the sidebar can enter, allowing the cylinder to turn. What's important in this day and age about high security and high security or restricted key cylinders, keyways, key blanks, things of that nature, is the ability to prevent people from just taking your key and making a copy of it, or taking your key and doing anything with it. And it all boils down to, whether it's Yale or Sargent or Medico, all sister company, Yale, Sargent, Medico, Corbin, Russwin, all sister companies, is controlling access to the key blank. And that's really Medico's, what's the term I'm looking for? Stock and trade. That's Medico's stock and trade. If you can't get the key blank, you can have the cylinder. We don't care. You've got the cylinder, that's great. But if you can't get key blanks for it to make keys, or if you can't get parts to rekey it, and you don't have access to the information of what the keying system is, there's not a lot you can do to exploit that system, at least easily. So it's controlling the key blanks. And of course, Yale has that system. In their catalog, they're going to talk about that security and high security platform. They can also do a UL 437 version of those cylinders, where UL 437 is the highest grade or the most stringent grade or certification that you can apply to a lock or a cylinder, and that will talk about its ability to resist attack, picking, impressioning, environmental stresses, things of that nature. Anyway, not to deviate too far, but if you have any questions on the 60-7000-0611-059 Yale tailpiece assembly for 1 3/4 thick door without a shim kit or any other Yale product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. If you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please click subscribe as well, and even share the video with someone that you know. And if you have any questions for a future video, please send them our way and we will make every attempt to oblige. And thank you very much.